frying pan.
And into the fire. Run! Run!
Hello and welcome to another Out of the Frying Pan podcast YouTube channel video. Another unboxing video today. It's been a little bit while since I've done a video, but with these new releases that have been long awaited, I thought it'd be time to crack open the camera again and have a go. So I'll take you to a top-down camera now and we'll have a little look at the new goodies. And here we are with the first of the boxes. So the fantastic new plastic Eomer Marshall of the Rimar sculpt. These actually arrived Saturday morning on the 29th, I believe it is. It's the day after now, it's Sunday. I've had a really busy weekend with the family. And I could have ripped the cellophane off last night, but I thought I'll actually make it a proper unboxing now. Most people have seen this by now. It's sold out within a few hours. You know, obviously it's back in production now. I'm aware that it should be back quite soon, but it's fantastic that it was so popular and did so well. So hopefully I can keep this in focus. So let's crack it open and have a little look at the sprue. Okay, so you got your two bases, and here we have the instructions. So you've got plenty of weapon options here. You've got throwing spear, you have unhelmeted head, you have helmeted head, you've got sword arms. Pretty standard for modern GW instructions. Very detailed, should go together very easy, but we shall see. And here's your sprue. So hopefully I can get this in focus. And it looks fantastic to me, plenty of detail. Lots of the modern design of squeezing loads and loads and loads of different stuff on the sprue. And they go fantastically together and basically create models without many mould lines to clear away, which is brilliant. The only drawback of the modern design, and I wouldn't swap it, but the only drawback is it's hard to build things in sub-assemblies for painting. Most of the time I do like to paint models as fully assembled as possible. I think it helps with lighting, but there are sometimes some things you want to lead off. Sometimes, you know, rider off horse and so on, and I'm not so sure that was necessarily possible looking at the way this goes together. I mean, I've just had the instructions out and flicked it open but didn't really look. Let's have another look. So I hope that's all in focus. So you can see the way it's cut away there. You've kind of got to build the model in one, really. Let's have a look. Yeah, you might be able to get away with leaving the rider off, but he's not, you know, completely devoid of saddle, so to speak. So second leg I'll have to go, and I'd say that it's generally better to build these things in one go. I may leave the rider off though. It's just going to be hard to do, otherwise I shall see when I get around to building it. But I'm not going to go into too much detail. There's plenty of built models finding their way around the interwebs at the moment. Plenty of pictures online of the sprues and built and unbuilt, so this won't be new to most people. But very excited. I've been working on Rohan at the moment. It's been a very I've been waiting to buy Eomer for a long time. I didn't buy the old sculpt because I really wasn't a fan of it, and this will now fill the void for that fantastically. And then something that maybe a lot of people weren't expecting at the beginning of the year when it was announced. It's been a while since they've done a Best of White Dwarf magazine. I know we have Quest of the Ring Bearer on the way, so a lot of people are probably looking forward to that a lot more. Not so excited about this, and a lot of people have been quite vocal online that they weren't going to pick this up. The collector in me was always going to grab this book. I've got the digital version of this as well. Mainly because I couldn't wait and I wanted to look at it. So, but I like having all the things I can digitally. It makes it a lot easier. A lot of my books sit on the shelf as a collection, and rather than Rather, I really should have done this cellophane off camera, shouldn't I? A lot of my things, a lot of my books sit on the shelf as a collection, and I don't often get read from them. I use the iBooks on my iPad, so to speak. But I wanted both, so I have had a look through the book, but in a PDF form. So let's try and flick through the pages. It looks like I've got a bit of glare there. Hopefully it doesn't come off the pages too much. So pretty standard Middle Earth strategy battle game book. Fits nicely on your shelf with all the others. The standard format since the change to the Middle Earth branding rather than the Hobbit or Lord of the Rings. Same inner pages. I must say, with my initial flick through the EPUB version, I was really surprised about how much is in here and the variety of it. So you've got your contents list there. I'll leave that for a second so you can scan down. I'm not going to go through it all, but I thought I'd just thumb through the pages really and just point out some of the things that I thought were quite cool. There's a little introduction there, sort of giving you an idea of what's to come and why they're there. And then we go straight in, and there's a really quite nice old scenario, a basic one from the early days, first edition days, I believe. So Orcs attack. There we go. You got Rick Priestley and Alessio, and there's some fantastic pictures here. Really traditional sort of style, and I love that kind of thing. I love the nostalgia of the older books. And I've got the other three Best of White Dwarfs, and I've got a lot of the older White Dwarfs anyway. I've nearly got a complete collection, so I've got a lot of these articles, but I do love looking back through them. Very, very cool. I'll speed up a little bit because I think there's 120 odd pages, and I'm not here to sort of do a full detail review. And then after that we've got some of the newer style things. So someone might correct me from memory. I think this might have been during White Dwarf Weekly. I'm not sure if we're at that stage, but we can't have been too far off. But around the time, I imagine, of the Escape from Goblin Town release, and we have a Goblin Town battle report. Look at the setup on that board, absolutely fantastic. So really nice mix of style of articles there really. We got Battle for Erebor, so it's even more modern, almost modern era, current White Dwarf style era with Iron Hills and Azog's Legion. We'll skim through these pages quite quickly. If you want to read it properly, you can pick it up or find the White Dwarfs that they came from. Battle of Pelennor Fields, this was very recent. This was obviously not long after the release of the Pelennor box set. I've definitely got this White Dwarf. So at this stage I can understand why some people would say, no, why do I want to buy it? It's not really for me. I've got the White Dwarfs anyway. Why do I want to spend money on something? For me, mainly, as I said, it's a collector's thing, but it is nice to have it all there. There you go, Battle Company's campaign supplement. Again, these are for modern day White Dwarf things. Searching for the Stone, fairly modern day again. I suppose modern day is good because if you've bought some of the older, all the previous Best of White Dwarfs, you may feel that having stuff that's sort of related to the modern rules is more useful, but I think it's all quite cool. At least having all these in one place. I don't know if this was all from the same White Dwarf. Yes, it would have been. And then we go back in time again. There we go. So Gandalf and Balrog Jaw, very cool. Friends and Fireworks. So these are fun. I love this. Again, it's probably the nostalgia gamer coming through in me. I quite like the idea of picking up these old scenarios and then trying them out with the new rules. Another little 2-pager, A Bolger's Great Escape. Just fun little things you can do with a very few number of models. Be interesting to see if anything like this or new versions of these come up in Quest for the Ringbearer. Hunt for Gollum. That's definitely an alternative scenario which could be really fun. And then we're back to sort of new again. So new rules, wild chase into the wilderness, wilderness. Sorry, can't read. So Modern White Dwarfs. That's from September 2017. So that will be towards the end of the Hobbit era. And then we go. This is what I like about it. It's just sort of really sort of cuts between different things, and there's a very, very small one pager from I don't know what era that was, very, very long time ago, but I just like it. I like the way it sort of sorts between different eras and gives you great variety. I wasn't expecting that quite so much. Some more Hobbit era stuff, and some of that I missed. I wasn't playing the game in that time period. River Assault rules, so I'm shooting back to earlier stuff again, something I didn't think I've seen before, and I flicked through a lot of the old White Dwarf. So when I was flicking through this the other night, and it was about half past midnight, and I've had a couple of whiskies, and I'd watched Damien and Steve on the latest battle streams in Middle Earth at that point, and I thought I'll have a little flick through, and I was quite excited about the kind of the real mix that were there, and I thought it's just, nice comfort reading. Flick through a bit of nostalgia, interesting things, plenty of really good full colour shots, and yeah, for a collector like me, very, very happy with the purchase. Whether I need it in EPUB, probably don't, to be honest with you, but I just couldn't resist. Article on Magical Middle Earth, I think that's fairly recent. Mordor terrain, so that's going back to a sort of original edition, but it's nice to have modelling still very current today. Any modelling and scenery articles can be used. Creating a lava board, very cool. Flight of the Nazgul. So just reading the first bit, looks like it's a War of the Ring article, but it's quite cool to see all of the Nazgul all mounted. Looks like Nick Clayton painted them, maybe, on conversions as well. Cool, very, very cool. I may have made some mistakes when describing these, as I'm trying to flick through at a reasonable pace to keep this video short enough, and that's the end. I'm happy with it. It's not going to be for everyone. It's it's reprints of stuff that's in White Dwarf. It's not going to be for everyone at all, but if you're a collector like me that wants to put it on your shelf to match all the other Middle Earth books, over the last few months I've gone back and pretty much bought everything. I don't think I'm missing anything that's been published as a saleable book, so to speak. So I've got them all on my shelf full, and I wasn't going to miss out on that. Whether I needed the EPUB as well, that's another question. Well, I hope you enjoyed another video. They are few and far between, and I seem to apologise for that a lot. This is very much a sister channel to our audio podcast. If you haven't heard of us before, please do check out the links in the comments below. Out of the Frying Pan podcast is an audio podcast, available, hosted through Podbean, but available for all your major places, so for Apple Podcasts and Google and Spotify, and soon to be Audible, I believe. So lots and lots of places, so go and give us a listen. I think we're, as of the time I'm recording this, we've done 18 episodes. There will be, as I said when I was recording, there will be a proper review of the book, or a little bit more in-depth review of the book with my co-hosts on the podcast, but I just wanted to give people a quick look through. So thanks for joining us. Check out the links below for the podcast, and I'll catch you soon.
Out of the frying pan and into the fire. Run! Run!